Hello and welcome back, I'm Shelf Unit and this is my continuing Let's Play of Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. Hopefully now, as before, I have fully sorted out all my sound issues. I'm relatively happy with it. But we are here, we need to talk to people. Again. Journal, bum. Unnamed Sensate, okay. Huh. Feels like I have not talked to Splinter. Can you help me? Show me the sensoriums. Take me to the private sensorium. Now
Done.
I want to talk to, what's his name again? Quell, there he is. Quell glances around him as you approach. Blast, nowhere to hide, he sighs loudly. Well, out with it, what do you wish of me now? He pops a candy into his mouth and looks at you expectantly. Some questions. Rolls his eyes. What do you know about Puzzlewell? You've done this. She's a hag, my boy. How would I find her? Something about the past. Help me. Bum, I'll seek her out. Don't know, figure something out. Can you tell me how to get to her maze? I understand. Yes. There's portals, piece of. Oh, okay. Have I not got this? I have this. So what do I do with it now that I've got it? This is the annoying thing, that it doesn't specify. So 1 second. Okay, well, I have not found anything particularly interesting in any guides, which is really annoying. Help me, blah blah blah, show me the sensoriums. Let's go to the public sensorium. Because I think we might have been here, but I cannot guarantee it. Sensate. Lady Thorncombe. I'm going to talk to her in a second once I've discovered something. If there's anybody else around here. I'm not sure whether that's a useful thing to do, talking to her. Sensate. Okay. So let's go have a quick chat to Lady Thorncombe. Who's not anywhere I thought she was. There she is. The woman is still meandering. She looks over at your approach, but doesn't seem to recognise you. I had some questions. Very well, ask what you wish. Questions about this place. She began to ask you questions. Not even looking at you, not even paying attention. Questions about you. Leave her. Okay, well, let's. Unusual red. Okay. Okay, so there's nothing here. Although we can maybe talk to the Sensate Guide, see if they've got anything of interest to offer us. The man's gentle voice compliments his calm and refined demeanour. Greetings, are you here to use one of the sensory stones? No, but I had some questions. The man nods. This is the public sensorium. These chambers hold recorder or sensory stones. Each of the stones contains a particular sensation or set of sensations, which a user can experience for his or herself. A sensate is free to use them at their leisure, while visitors must pay a small fee. Does this answer your questions? No? Then I cannot help you, unless of course you would care to make use of the stones. Yes, I would. There are currently more than a dozen standard sensations available, as well as 6 more extravagant experiences. The uses of a standard stone is 10 copper commons. The more involved ones will cost 150 coppers. Would you care to hear of the standard or the extravagant sensations? Let's go for the standard. The man smiles and explains to you some of the various sensations that are currently available for your perusal. Which one of these will suit you? I have no idea. None right now. Let's go quick save. Let's go for the extravagant. Let's go unavoidable pain. Good. The stone you want to use is in one of the smaller chambers, one room clockwise from the stairwell. Is he a greenish yellow in colour? Thank you, farewell. So here is clockwise, going this way I assume. And that is indeed greenish yellow in colour, so let's see what it's about. This greenish yellow stone is one that the clerk directed you towards. And then it lies the experience, unavoidable pain. Well, I think we'll do this for this episode and see if there's any point to it. Begin the sensation. The experience is a short and violent one, struggling with another slightly stronger man on the edge of a blazing hot stream of molten lava. Lava is molten rock. It's molten rock, is what you're basically saying. Your weapon hand is slowly and inexorably forced ever closer to the magma. Beads of sweat evaporate the instant they appear, and the hair on your back of your hands blackens and smoulders above the awesome heat. Finally, your howls of suffering echo from the canyon walls around you. Your hand in the axe holds plunges into the lava and chars to ash in a few agonizing seconds. Stir yourself from the experience. Okay, we're just basically earning XPs here for money. Experience seems to have stirred some long-forgotten, vaguely similar memory in your own mind. You feel as if you gained something from using the sensory stone. Okay, let's just keep going back and getting all these XPs. Another session. Standard. Tender love will do. A good choice. The stone you want to use is in one of the smaller chambers, 2 rooms clockwise. Thank you, farewell. Bum. Your eyes are closed and you can sense yourself standing on the tips of your toes, pressed against someone tightly. Soft lips brush against yours, giving you the most gentle of kisses. Your heart seems to flutter in your chest. You feel as if you could fall backwards and simply float off into space. Okay. So I wonder if there's any particular quest-like mind-numbing tedium will do. Begin the sensation. Experience couldn't be more than a few minutes long, but hours seem to pass. A long, boring lecture in the driest, dullest, dustiest hall in the University of Calm in Sigil. You look about the vast hall, hoping to catch someone's eye to pull a face at. The other students are either asleep or staring listlessly into space. You drop your quill pen, pick it up, drop it again, just for something to do. You consider stabbing yourself in the eye with it, just to see if your senses haven't been wholly numbed by the incredible boredom. Okay. Another session. Standard. Sheer wonder. Begin the sensation. Hesitantly, you open your mouth and take a shallow breath. Water flows into your lungs like cool air. You smile and take a deep breath, gawking in all directions as you slowly sink to the bottom of the harbour, where hundreds of colourful fish weave through twisting tracts of brilliant coral. As your feet touch the bottom, you peer up at the keel of your ship and laugh aloud with joy, a string of great bubbles shooting up towards the surface. All of this just seems to be free experience. Well, I say free, it costs me money, but consuming impatience will do. The sensation, you stand debating with Amnas the horribly slow, keeper of the Lion Key, as to whether or not your quest is important enough for him to relinquish the artifact into your care. The whole experience is an exercise in sheer torment. Each and every one of his words is followed by a significant pause. Each and every point he makes is reiterated time and again before he lets you speak. You present an argument, and then wait, and wait, and wait, whilst he makes his counterpoint. to which you shoot out a snappy counterpoint of your own, and then must wait yet again for another of Animus's drawling, meandering, and seemingly endless counterpoints. Everything you can do not to simply lop the fiend's tusked head off and snatch the key from the twitching corpse. Another session, standard, tired, surrender. Just going to check I have enough money for all of these. 2,000, yes, definitely. Begin the sensation, shuddering, chattering, hoping beyond hope to be found. Curl yourself beneath a blanket of snow to save what little warmth you have left. Fighting to keep your eyes open to remain awake, you become aware that you can no longer feel your arms, your legs, the ice against your face, and tired, so tired, you at last resign to the inevitable. You close your eyes, bidding sleep a bitter welcome as the sense of loss forces a single tear, doomed to crystallize before it even reaches your cheek from your aching eyes. Also, how close am I to leveling up? Because just to see what this sort of experience is going to do to me, not tremendously far away. For most of us, I mean, these are just small bits of supernatural lust. See what these things will give us. Stone, begin the sensation to find yourself coupling with a succubus. Oh, fall from grace. A creature of such intense otherworldly beauty that even her fiend's horns and thrashing tail give you no pause. She gasps under you. You desire her so completely that the whole of your existence seems focused towards that single goal. As your life explodes from you in a starry burst, you hear the delighted laughter of the succubus as she drains you dry, leaving your body but a soulless husk. Another one. Another sensation. Standard. Show me more. Tell me about some of the others. Psychosis. Really? Same again. In the sensation, the experience is a strange one, very disturbing. You have the point of a knife pressed to someone's throat and your hand clamped over their mouth and breath hot and heavy in their face. You begin to stab them slowly. The knife dimples their skin and eventually breaks it. There's a hot rush of blood over your forearm, the sound of strangled respiration, a horrible sense of perverted glee. And it's over. So we're not doing the big ones. The big ones must be the more advanced sensations. Festering jealousy. Okay. Begin the sensation. You feel her lip curl as the fair-haired young hero, armour gleaming like a polished silver mirror, once again enters your tavern. Hanging his velvet coat on a wall peg, he surveys your patrons with a pair of eyes like sea gems and a smile that sets the serving wenches swooning. You set the mug you're cleaning down and harumph loudly, thinking of what it must be like to turn him upside down and shove him into a rain barrel. Okay, another session, standard, more. The others, bitter loathing. A good choice. Aha! Violet Zone is the one that the clerk directed you to. Begin the sensation. Venomous tears of pain brimming in your narrow yellow eyes. You gather the tattered remains of your small scaled red wings off the floor. You humbly back out of Grober's study, gritting your needle-like teeth beneath sealed lips. Sure, you're only the Spinagon, at least among the devils, but that's no cause for a pit fiend to tear off your wings because he doesn't like the message you brought him. What will your Glorian master do? He certainly can't say anything to Grober, and what use is a Spinagon without its wings? He'll probably get cast into the pit of flame for incompetence. Vengeance out of the question. There's little to do but shake your clawed fist and hate grumble with all the loathing your little black devil's heart can muster. Next up, Pure Glee. I can't remember whether it's this one. Is it this one? Dancing and leaping about in rhythm with the wood elves' bouncing festival music, you and a dozen other dancers spin through the forest clearing like a whirling dervish, smiling and laughing like mad, as the cheering forest dwellers whoop, clap and dance alongside you. Fairies careen through the air above your heads, leaving sparkling trails of coloured light. Session, blah blah blah, standard. Frightened exhilaration. You twist your head to look up at the large contraption strapped to your back. A set of 4 bat-like wings extend out of it, each made of leather pulled taut over wicker frames. From the precipice you're perched on, Dilgyar's floating fortress appears as but a tiny speck suspended in the blue-grey sky, miles away across the nothing but empty air. This is how everyone travels on the plane of air, they say. It's easy. You smirk, step backwards a ways, and make a running leap off the cliff into the cool wind below, leaving your stomach behind. As the wings suddenly catch the air, an amazing rush shudders through your entire body as you soar out over the nothingness and towards the elemental prince's abode. I mean, this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 2, 14 times, I mean, that's what? 3, 6 plus 7.5. That's 13,500 experience points in total. Just from the basic ones. Grim Determination. 13,500 XPs I think is good for a return of 140 gold. The entire hall was in ruins and still in the process of being destroyed as dozens of combatants hurled weapons, deadly arcane magics, and themselves at one another in a desperate struggle to be the last one standing. Plumes of acrid green smoke rose from the pile of limp bodies you dragged yourself out of, having barely escaped the wrath of some fiendish spell. There it was, across the way, through the battling throng, through the bloodthirsty battle ahead of you, sitting untouched on a miraculously upright table. Your pint of mead! And you get it back, if you had to kill every last one of the brawling tavern patrons to do it. Awesome. Another session, standard. Complete bafflement. And off we go again to the final standard experience. You awake from uneasy dreams to find yourself transformed in your dank lair into a rather small, four-limbed, fleshy thing. You're lying on your shell-less, as it were, wholly unprotected back, and you lift your tiny head unadorned with its usual sensory antennae. A little that you can see your pinkish belly, partly covered in soft curling hairs, quite unlike the back bristles you're accustomed to seeing there. Black bristles. Your only two legs now jut out from the end of your torso rather than up from around your abdomen. They look thick and ungainly in proportion to your body, and lie there limply, making no attempt to right you up on their own. Only actively concentrating can you move the things. What has happened to you? Okay, so we've done all of the sensory experiences that are basic. Another session. Extravagant. Horrible regret. I want to use one larger chambers in the stairwell. 3 rooms counterclockwise. Right. Boom, boom, boom. So this is the big one. stand on the desk of your flagship, the Divine Hammer, as it floats over the continent of Agheim, hurled aloft by the winds of magic. The very landscape roils and shudders beneath the bombardment of your fleet. 1,000 ships, cannons, and bombards hurling their sorcerous fire down like vengeful gods. The shockwaves began to hit your ship only minutes ago. The constant vibration that sends shudders through the whole of the ancient craft and moves your very bones, accompanied by a constant rumbling bass, as the lands, mountains begin to sink and the seas that surround it begin to boil off into the atmosphere. Your first officer comes to stand beside you. My Lord Admiral, permission to speak freely, sir. You nod your acquiescence, your stomach sinking as you guess is his question. My lord, forgive me, but how? What gives us the right? 1 billion lives. You speak without turning to him, unable to take your eyes off Rimas, the nation's vast capital city, as it vaporizes into a cloud of superheated glass 12 miles across and growing ever wider. If you only knew the full treachery of the Agorites, First Officer Felm, one which is beyond most any man's comprehension, then you would know. You would speak of our right to annihilate them. We've no right to let them live. But, sir, traitors, all of them, surely among the hundreds of thousands. How many innocents? Silence, speak of it no more. Our king has spoken. His will be done. The task set to us is a horrible one, not fit for contemplation or questioning. There is no room for pity, no room for remorse, only duty. The two of you stand silently for a time, watching the last minutes of Agheim. At long last you sigh, a low, stuttering exhalation that sounds as if something has broken inside you. Beneath the brazen plate that covers the ruined half of your face, your dead eye begins to weep. Farm, my friend, I would have you understand. I know now as I look at what I have wrought here that were I to think upon what I have done, what I have truly done, I would be struck mad. A deed such as this, the anguish would overwhelm, destroy me. So, First Officer Farm, it must be that there are no innocents in Agheim, no mothers, no children, no people. Only traitors, vile, cunning traitors who deserve no less than the full brunt of our most holy king's wrath. Do you understand this? Yes, my lord. Good, now go. I wish to be alone here. By your command, Lord Admiral. Farm bows his head and returns below deck, leaving you to stand over the end of a civilization. Ooh. Deep. Yep, 1500 XPs. That's quite a good little story, to be honest. Like another session, extravagant, shock and arise, seething vengefulness. Oh, it's 50 copies, okay. I thought it was more than 50. It was 150. In the sensation. You stand somewhere in the nether regions of the plains, a sweltering place where the ground is beaten copper and the skies are brass. Here the bodies of sinners, petitioners in this horrid place, are rolled amongst iron brambles and bronze scorpions until their bones are fine grey dust. You squint at the horizon, the bone dust rising with putrid-smelling gusts of wind that carry with them the sound of agonized moaning. There is nothing but flat metallic landscape as far as the eye can see. Dust is everywhere, in everything. It stings at your eyes and coats the insides of your mouth with a pasty film. You spit, wiping on it with your finger, but it's of no use. The stuff's taste's fouled your mouth completely. You look down at the key in your hand, a minute platinum orb, and picture the man's face who solemnly swore to you the magical portal you've just passed through, now gone of course, led to the green fields of Bytopia. Someone, by all the powers and their proxies, was going to pay for this. Not quite as deep as the previous one, but still a good story. I mean, these are like actual role-playing adventure hooks for actual other games. Slowly dawning horror. How good could it be? You think, regarding the burgundy liquid carefully. Across the table from you, the twisted old man smiles slyly. Please, sir, try, he whispers, his hushed voice the sound of dry leaves blown over roughly cobbled street. Thou shalt find it more than lives up to thy expectations, I'm sure. You nodded him and lifted the crystal goblet into the air, watching the light play through the crimson liquor. You'd come a long way for this drink, searched long and hard for this old man, and you'd be damned to let anything rush you now. The moment was to be savoured. You raised the glass to your lips, inhaling the stuff's aroma. The bouquet is light, sweet, intoxicating, almost dizzyingly so. You've tried countless drinks, written tomes about them, the flavours and smells, means of manufacture, in your journeys across the plains. But this stuff was supposed to be legendary. No living man you'd found or heard of had tried the stuff. The stories were ridiculous. Nothing could taste quite so good. But if there were the slightest bit of truth to them, this would be some fine liquor indeed. At last, you drink the goblet, a cautious sip. Incredible, indescribable! As the flavour washes over your palate, you fight the urge to shudder with delight. Nothing you have tried in all your long years has tasted quite like this. You look up at the old man, startled to find your glass empty. You had drained it all in a single draught. You wipe your eyes with the back of your hand, not entirely sure when you had begun to cry. Tears of joy, eh? The old man laughed softly. Quite pleasing to the tongue, is it not? Wouldst thou like some more, perchance? He smiles at you once more. Yes, if I might. Surely, he replies, refilling your glass. Try as you might, you cannot resist downing it in a single gulp. You thrust your finger into the goblet in an attempt to find some last hidden drop of the stuff. Several times more does he fill the goblet, and each time you gulp the stuff down as a starving man would devour a feast, unable to control yourself, to deny yourself another exquisite taste of it. He chuckled softly once more. A drink such as this, a man would do anything for it. No? You nod without hesitation. Yes, a man would. Looking at him, his sly smile suddenly takes on a whole new meaning. A sense of horror begins to creep over you, even as you begin to yearn painfully for more of the blood-red liquor. Yes, the old man grins, his yellow eyes gleaming. A man would do anything in the thrall of such a drink, even the most terrible, the most heinous of deeds, as thou shalt see, my newest servant. Another great adventure hook. Another session, extravagant, indescribable frustration. 3 rooms counterclockwise. It's this one. Yeah, so we're just doubling up like we did the others. You can see it now, the crown of Haphon, gleaming upon a marble pedestal. No more than 20 strides away it is. With it, you could wrest control of the armies of Athanopolis, away from your treacherous brother, and restore your father's kingdom. A fool your wretched brother was. You smiled grimly at the thought, to leave the king's only daughter alive, thinking she could do him no harm. A sound, a creak of leather sandals, the softest hiss. Over there by that third pillar. She was close now. Polyphi, the Medusa, jealously guarding the crown of her servants, had stolen for her so long ago. Crouching behind a wide pillar, you wrap your hand tightly around your trusted thrice-blessed javelin. With your helm of swiftness and the 100-mirrored shield, even a beast such as the Polyphi would be no match for you. Any moment now she would round the pillar and meet the side of you. Even if she turned away from the shield, the javelin would surely find her throat. Suddenly there's a gentle touch on your shoulder. You gasp, spinning around to face, of course, the Medusa. Accepting the inevitable, you only have time to loose a piercing cry of frustration before your lungs, every other part of you, solidifies into cold grey stone. A little bit less of an adventure hook for the person involved, but still. Vastly important secret will do. Six Imperial servants rush ahead of you, swinging the golden doors of the Dragon Palace wide. "Long live the Empress!" they cry in unison. 1,000 years! Long live the Empress! 1,000 years! Beyond the threshold, dozens of loyal warlords, kings in their own right, drop to their knees, touching their heads to the floor in deference as you pass them onward to the grand imperial throne. As you turn and face your minions, it's always good to have somebody describe their fellow people who they command as minions. You kind of get the impression that you're not the most pleasant of people. Pleasant people don't have minions. Excuse me. Seating yourself upon the imperial throne, you allow a small, satisfied smile to creep across your carefully painted lips. There's but one thought in the forefront of your mind. That the body of the young empress, Wu Susha, Wu Sanshan, blah blah blah, Wu Sansha, lies broken at the bottom of the well of solitude, and that you, Bai Hua, a horse merchant's daughter, are at last poised to shake the empire and the corrupt Wu dynasty to its very foundations. And the final experience. Lycanthropy. Suddenly aware that the hour has almost come, you leap from your bed and run flying from your cottage into the surrounding woods. Stumbling in the dark, you come to a small moonlit clearing, the one you had found last week and decided to use tonight. You hastily strip off your clothes, sit in the long grass, and wait. You close your eyes, listening to the steady chirp of crickets, the throaty croaking of bullfrogs in the nearby creek, the rustle of the grass as the wind caresses it. What would someone think, seeing this through your eyes, experiencing this moment and what was next to come? Soon you would travel to the city, find a cleric to rid you with a curse. But for now, might as well make the best of things. You rub your hands together with anticipation, grinning like a bearded, fire-headed giant and a madman, sitting naked and alone in the forest, clearing in the dead of night. A prickling sensation runs across your skin, and your senses sharpen dramatically. You breathe in through your nose, inhaling the scent of everything around you, the damp earth, the sweat on your cast-off clothes, the opossum clinging fearfully to the tree behind you. You open your eyes and look down at your forearms. The faint moonlight reveals the slightest quivering across their surface, but in moments the flesh begins to ripple impossibly, tufts of thick brown fur sprouting forth. With a grisly crackling sound like popping joints and grinding bones, your back and shoulders begin to hunch and broaden. Uncomfortable, but not quite painful. Your muscles, your entire body mass doubles, triples in size, and continues to grow. Still fascinated by the transformation yourself, you watch as your fingers wither away to nothing, hands swelling into meaty paws from which burst fur and massive black claws. The night seems to become brighter as your eyes transform, become accustomed to the darkness. A wide muzzle comes into view, and you touch your wet, snuffling nose delicately, chuckling to yourself. Next time, you think, you'll have to stare into a mirror or pond as the curse takes effect. You watch your face warp and change, losing its familiar shape to become bears. Bears? Soon it becomes difficult to concentrate upon anything but your more basic urges. Food would be good right now. Yes, food. Perhaps you'll get lucky and find a nice fat catfish in the creek. You rise off your massive haunches with a huff and begin to amble through the trees on all fours, heading for the water's edge.
I feel stronger.
Oh, and we've acquired a level up. Look at that. Fantastic. So we've gained a characteristic point again. Which. Should I put into... No, I'm going to put it into intelligence. Screw it. So no level 1 spells. New level 2 spell. I will put in power 1. I will put in balancing things. I will just add force missile. And a couple more of these. Awesome. Well, that's helpful.
All right.
Now, what is my money situation like? Below 2,000, but otherwise it's fine. And some questions. just going to test out to see if I could just keep farming this internally for XP. Bum bum. No. Okay, that's fair enough.
All right.
Is she still going to be completely numbed? Some questions. Leave her. Okay. So now let's see if we can try the private sensorium in the same way. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, please subscribe. If not, do not worry about it. Thank you again, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.